and let's get started. The first thing you are gonna need is Granny Smith apples, okay? Make sure you have Granny Smith. The reason why you're gonna want Granny Smith is because the skin is a little bit tougher than the regular apples, and it is more hardy apple to hold up to that 300-degree candy. So after you have your apples, these are just bagged apples. You can pluck them right off the tree, or you can buy the organic apples. Even if they do say organic, they still have wax on them, so you still have to do this process with organic apples, whether you just got them from the store or not. These are from Walmart, but you know you can get Granny Smith apples anywhere. So next thing you're gonna need is a pot. This is like a big old pot that you would cook spaghetti in, okay? Any type of pot, it doesn't matter. Just make sure it's big enough for your apples to fall in here, okay? Then you're just gonna need water. This is just water. There's nothing special in this pot. I just pour some water from my sink about halfway to the top. Then you don't have to use this. You can fish your apples out of here using like some tongs or something. But me, I always like to use this strainer because it's so much easier, and I will show you that later. And then you're gonna need some type of container to dump your apples in. I'm making a lot, so of course I'm gonna need this big bucket, but you can just use a bowl if you're not making that many, or you can even just put them out onto your counter on a towel. It's up to you. So that is it for the ingredients, and let's get started on cleaning these apples. If you haven't watched the other video where I show you how to actually make the apples, when you're done with this video, go over and watch that one, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is turn your eye on. I turn it on high because you're just boiling water, and I like to get it done fast as I can, so it goes straight onto high, and it's just going to sit here, and the water is just going to boil. Once you see them bubbles, you know it's done. So you see those bubbles there? Don't stop when you get that. You want to keep going. Make sure you get to a rolling boil. Sometimes if you stop too early, your water won't be hot enough, and then you'll find out that you actually didn't get the wax off. So you see that there? Make sure those bubbles are moving. When some bubbles are moving, blow that out the way. Then you know it's ready. So you're going to turn it off and remove the pot from the eye. So you're going to make sure you take it off of the eye. Don't leave it there because it'll just keep getting hotter and hotter. So now I got it back there. Let's get these apples in. I always like to wait. And this is important, guys. Don't drop your apples in right away. Just let that cool down for a little while. Give it about 4 to 5 minutes, maybe, to come down a little. So while that's cooling down, what I do is get my apples ready. I'm going to take them right out of the bag, and I'm going to be dumping them right in. You do not have to clean these out the bag, rinse them off. You don't have to take the sticks off. They're just going to go right in. So you're going to drop these apples right on into the pot. Just going to go right in, and you're just going to count. And I just put in however many I think will cover the bottom of the pot, which is normally about 6 or 8 sometimes. So we're going to do 6. So 6 apples are in, and what you do is you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you get to 10, you're going to take these apples out, and this is why I like the strainer, because I can just go just like that, and the apples are out. So get some of that water off, and then you're going to dump this straight into your bowl or your bucket, whatever container you're using. So these are gonna go straight into here, and now I'm just keep on going, get the rest of my apples, and I'm gonna dump those right on into do the same step. Drop them in, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just make sure you are fully coating the apples with water. That's the reason why I push it down like that, to make sure the water covers the apples. You don't want them to just be floating and then half of your apple still has wax on it. So then you just dump that in and keep on going. So I wanted to point something out. You see these apples? Do you see any wax on them? No, the wax is not visible. But this is the reason why you need to do this, to remove that wax, get that wax layer up so you can wipe it off. And these are clean right now, but I'm going to show you how the wax looks right after I drop these into the water. So here are some examples of the wax. Now you can clearly see the wax on these apples. That white film, that is what you want to see. And some of your apples are not going to show a lot of wax. Sometimes they don't have a lot on there. So don't be surprised by that. But I just want you to know that this is normal. This is actually the film that you are trying to get off. That white caked on stuff right there. So once you finish dipping all your apples into that water, you are going to have them in your bowl. And if you want to dip these apples right away, or you only have about 24 hours to wait, if you press for time, this is what you're going to do. You are going to take this bucket and put it into the refrigerator, okay? My fridge is right here. These apples are going to go into the fridge and stay in the fridge as long as possible. So if you have about 3 hours tops that you can squeeze in there, make sure those apples stay in that fridge that whole 3 hours. The longer the possible, the fridge will kind of speed up the process and help with drying out the apple faster. Now this method is not going to give you 100% bubble free apples. You will still have a few blemishes, but it will save you if it's last minute apples, okay? I'm telling you, it will save your life if you just got to do these apples last minute, whether you forgot to clean them 2 days ahead or whether or not you just got the order. What you can do is just let them know you might get a couple of bubbles. I usually tell people, like, since you order so late, they're not going to be perfect apples, but they will still look really good. Once you take those apples out the fridge, you're just going to use a regular towel. This is just a normal bath towel. There's no water on here. There's no products on here. It's just a dry bath towel. So you see that wax there? You're going to take that towel and you're going to wipe that wax off, and it'll rub completely off. We're just going to wipe the entire apple and just get all that wax off. Go down in there and make sure you get that. So we'll do another one. You see that wax all over the apple. You're just going to take your dry towel and wipe it off. You don't have to go around and make sure it's perfectly polished. Just do a quick wipe and that wax will come right off. So even the apples that you don't really see any wax on, you still need to make sure you wipe those ones because they do have a little wax on them. You just can't see it. Just make sure you get all that residue off, tops and bottoms. So once you clean the wax off of all of the apples, and you're ready to dip. And once again, this is for the 24 hours or less method, okay? Fresh out the refrigerator, you're going to wipe them down. And while your candy's cooking, the apples are going to get a little bit more room temperature so they won't be so cold. So same day dip, ready to go. And you're just going to dip them like you normally do. And like I said, guys, this is not the ideal solution. Only do this if you're rushing or if you got a last minute order. Don't do this if you have enough time to actually give it the 48 hours, because they aren't always going to come out perfect when you rush like this. It will do its job, but you might still get a few bubbles. So it's always best. And also pinholes. You get pinholes sometimes. So it's always best to wait the 48 hours. But you can not only have to do this like once in a blue moon, but I really strive to make sure I give myself enough time with these apples. Because you know now people want these pretty glass apples, and they aren't going to be pretty glass and shiny and bubble free if you rush. Here they are, all finished. All finished, and you see I got some bubbles. I got one bubble there by the stick. I've got one bubble back there, but for the most part they all came out pretty good. I got one bubble here, but that little dot is not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all for a rush job. See, I can twist them all the way around, and they are still beautiful. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what other treats you want me to do. If you haven't seen the other videos where I show you how to make the candy, just check it out and let me know. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you later.